You hear a lot about the challenges of SST, but there's so much else that's just outright enjoyable.
Taking all these field trips across the country to these beautiful, beautiful places.
Something super fun about SST is having all the different travel opportunities you're given. Our group had gone on 2 weekend trips, and we spent 9 days traveling throughout the country together as well.
Getting to see all the different types of cultures and environments that you have never seen before ever in your life until now.
Beaches, mountains, forests, resorts, all sorts of different things. It was fantastic.
So we ended up going on this hike. We went up, hiked up the mountain. We were above the clouds. We could see like clouds coming in through the mountain as we were hiking, and we got to the top and we hiked this ridge line with like trees, and it looked like something out of the Lord of the Rings, or like the Shire, or like just like tendrils of light coming down through the treetops as we like hiked through this ridge line.
We were able to experience every part of it together, which I think was super special. Be it riding in a tiny boat back to the port from our lodging in Monpiche, swimming in waterfalls in the cloud forest, stumbling across a dance party on the beach and joining in.
This was really cool because not only were we able to explore how geographically diverse each of these places are that we had visited, but we were able to gain a sense of understanding of how culturally diverse they are as well. Overall, each of these trips were beautiful, insightful, and definitely a highlight of my time there.
I think the most fun part of SST for me was getting to know my fellow SSTers better.
We had so much time to both see everything, but also have downtime to hang out with each other. Rock climbing, going into the water, and on beaches, playing ping pong.
Getting crammed into a really tiny subway car, or, getting derailed from our service places and all sent back to the central location.
Fun to see all their personalities and the way they interact with each other, and watching them try new foods.
I didn't know anyone in my group prior to SST very well, but looking back, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
It was so fantastic. I felt like I got to know all of these wonderful people through this experience.
Those shared memories, small and large, good and bad, are easily the most fun part of SST.
The most difficult aspect of SST for me was communicating with my host families, as neither of them spoke any English, and my Spanish at the time was pretty weak.
Spanish language was really difficult for me while I was on SST. I've never been confident in a class or in my ability to use Spanish. Conversations that would have taken a minute in English took me 10 to struggle through in Spanish.
But I've definitely grown to appreciate this as my Spanish improved a lot more rapidly because I didn't speak any English.
Looking back, I'm so grateful for all of those hard conversations. And every conversation made me a little more confident. I was more willing to try things the next time, try a new verb tense.
Looking back, my service experience was something that I appreciate the most now. There were definitely hard times, but there were definitely also really rewarding moments, and kind of like being tossed in a pool and learning how to swim. I was able to quickly gain skills in areas like childcare, conflict resolution, self-efficacy, and so much more that I never would have learned otherwise.
Also, just navigating such a big city, it was a good experience to have to deal with public transportation and learn how to get to places on my own and navigate such a large city.
Something that I learned very quickly upon arriving to Ecuador is that when you go to the public restroom, toilet paper is not provided. You have to bring your own toilet paper. And let me tell you that rationing toilet paper was a lesson that I didn't realize would be so important in my life.
SST changed my view on the world by sort of showing me the bigger picture and like a broader worldview.
It almost catches you off guard how much the rest of the world knows about the United States compared to the United States' knowledge of the rest of the world.
But it also showed me that there's more than one place I can be. I think before I thought there's a straight and narrow path and there's a couple options you get to choose, but I think if you put your mind to it, I think you can do a lot more than you'd like, or you think you can.
Most of my knowledge about Ecuador came from Spanish classes where I learned about some Latin American cultures and geographies. Once I went on SST, I was actually able to experience those things for myself. And so now when I think about Ecuador, I don't think about these facts that I learned in high school or college. I think about the people I worked with on my service part, or the children I was working with there, and also my host families. They were really special. It was such an opportunity, such a privilege to be able to live with them and experience or see their joys and also their challenges.
I was with my host parents during service, and one time we went out to buy some bread, and I was just like goggling, just looking around, like it was incredible, like all these sights, all these new people, like it was insane, it was crazy. I reflect back on it now and I'm realizing that for them it was no different than as if you would go to like Martin's. What I'm trying to say is the thing that was shaped my perspective is that something that's so commonplace to us can seem incredible to someone when they come in from the outside.
It causes you to reflect on your life in a way that many other experiences really don't give you.
Being able to live with a new family in a new place sort of shows you just another way to go about life. And it shows you that the way that you're used to isn't necessarily the only good way. It was just super nice to take 3 months to slow down my pace and just be able to take the time to reflect and improve on myself.
GC students should go on SST because it's definitely a life-changing experience.
If you haven't been out of the country much, I think it's a great opportunity.
I think everybody should get the chance to go to a different country. It's life-changing in almost every way.
And I know that sounds really cliche to say, but it's true. The new culture is just a good experience to have. You get more perspective about how other people in the world live, what's different, and that different can be good, it can be bad. It's all just up to your own perspective. But I think it's very important for people to have that different experience so that they just see a little bit outside of what the norm is where they live and what their daily experience is like.
And the neat element is the relationships that you develop both with other students, with your leaders, and with the people in the host country.
Before I went on SST, I actually didn't really want to go at all. I was enjoying my life, everything was great, and I really didn't want to throw a wrench in that. But upon reflection after SST, I realized how important it was to take the time to really reflect on my life and think, what do I want from a life? Because when you're on SST, you're not in your normal circumstances. You're thrown out there into the open with very little communication skills and just having to make your way through it all. And that causes you to notice so many different things about the world around you. I noticed what sort of things my families did, what sort of things the community does, and it just really made me stop and think, how do I want my family to fit into my life, and what sort of things are really important in life?
What makes SST unique as compared to other exchange programs? Very, very few college and university exchange programs have a host family stay the entire time. You know, when you live with a family, you really get to experience the culture of that country much more so than living in a dorm.
So it was interesting to see the different paces of life and those smaller communities compared to much larger cities.
To kind of get to see how diverse Ecuador really is.
peace of mind, you know, they're more calm. They wake up early, 5 a.m., they work until 10. So that's something I really took from me, was that connection to the nature, where the food comes, and to be grateful for the food we have.
But I think the nerves are real, partially just because like we've gotten into a routine here, and that routine feels really good and it feels really comfortable now.
So to have that comfort just kind of taken away suddenly, I'm fairly nervous about it, but I also know that is likely going to be a very formative experience for me.
But in that unknown, there's also so much excitement that I feel.
I think I personally connected with my brother more than anyone else in my family. Who agree on a lot of things with him, and honestly, it was kind of crazy. I had to get matched up with him, so it was really awesome.
In some of these that went on, it's kind of a small town, really small town feel. All dirt roads. The only part that's actually paved is just the plaza area. And plenty of dogs. Dogs literally everywhere. Anywhere you look, there's a dog.
So I just lived for 3 weeks in the indigenous village of Basquitai, Ecuador. It was a very humble house that I lived in, all dirt floors, cement, walls.
With my family, it was very unique too. I had 6 brothers, 1 sister, a very big family. Like I always wanted different experience, and I definitely got that with my indigenous community.
Yeah, I probably had the chillest or easiest job, if you could even call it that, on service. So in the morning, I would feed the pigs. Sometimes I would pick avocados after that.
Service equals reflection. Service does not equal productivity.
Bad service is not listening to people, not having a relationship with them, and just doing what you think they need. Service is all about relationships. Service is listening, and I think that is a critical part of relationships.